All I caught was the tail end of that, and it said something's beginning to fill with gas.
I didn't know they reported on local news.
I didn't either. It's like, wow. They've tuned into our webcam.
Exactly.
Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7, 7:25 right now. Wow, we haven't been that on time in a really long time, but we weren't quite ready to go on the air because I don't have my beautiful sister live from New York on the webcam yet. So a round of applause for Val.
I'm live from New York. Did
yes,
you say?
Live from New York.
Okay.
You caught that, did you?
I did. I'm trying to figure out how I got to New York so fast.
I don't know, but you could be anywhere. That's the kind of the cool.
Be anywhere.
That's kind of the cool thing about this. You could be anywhere right now. So could I.
I wish I was on a beach somewhere.
Oh, I wish I was anywhere else.
Pina colada in my hand.
Oh man,
Oh.
Could you imagine? We should take a trip sometime when all this COVID stuff's over and go somewhere really cool and just broadcast live. And well, it's not. I was gonna say get the station to pay for it, but it's nonprofits. That ain't gonna happen.
One of us has to win the lotto.
Oh man, I did get to take though when I was in commercial radio. I did get to have some pretty cool trips that where the expenses were paid. I got to leave at the time I was living in Loon Lake and working at KXOY, and I got to go to a radio and records convention in Miami, and it was February in Washington.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I still had like a foot and a half of snow in my yard when I left, and I get off the airplane and get my bags and stuff, and I step out the door, and I'm making about 4 feet from the front door, and I just stop, and I'm just smelling the air, and it smells really fresh, and it was at like 11, 12 o'clock at night, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can smell the ocean, the water, everything, it's very cool, and some lady comes out behind the door, and she goes, smells like old people.
Oh, gee.
Totally ruined my vibe.
Oh,
thanks a lot. And then I lifted up my arm and went, wasn't me. But if you did hear the nose, be careful. Things are filling with gas.
We used to go to North Dakota, California to see my husband's aunt. And I don't know, maybe we're just lucky and never hit it when it was smoggy and all of that. But stepping off and you're smelling the palm trees and the warmth, I always love that too.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at my onboard dashboard for, running things up the tower. Our air conditioner quit. Our brand new air conditioner I installed at the beginning of the summer has already quit.
Well, it had a workout this summer.
Oh, I'm guessing maybe that's it. But the last one we put in, they run 24/7. The last one we put in, it made it 3 years. So,
wow.
Yeah, I made it 3 years. And so really sad that I put one up there and it made it through the summer. But it isn't like it's still it'll blow out cold air. You got to like beat it up to get it to start.
Oh.
And I cleaned the filter and that kind of stuff, and it didn't really help. So we're going to go back up with screwdrivers this time. Well, electric ones, because there's a lot of screws in it, and take it apart for real and just see if we can see anything. But if you know anybody that works on heating and cooling for free, let me know.
For free.
For
is
free. For free.
Word you need to pay attention to, yes.
And likes to drive on rough roads. That's all right. It's kind of a weird thing. The heater up there is not working, too. I went up to test everything and install a new modem. I'm going to give, I don't give companies credit very often, but I'm going to give AT&T a big round of applause. Because they just sent me new equipment without asking and without charging me. Who does that?
It's because all their 3G stuff is no longer supported. So anybody with a 3G phone or 3G equipment is having it replaced for free.
Yeah, they said they sent me a letter and said, we're upgrading to 5G and your 3G equipment won't work. All your companies or what they say, all your employees' phones are going to stop working. So we're sending them all new phones. And I was like, wow, I wish we had employees. We have a bunch of phones.
And then you could fire one and keep their phone.
Well, no, it'd be everybody gets a phone. Nobody gets fired. We just get free phones. They're probably flip phones, though.
Well, that's what I was kind of wondering. I want to see what this stuff looks like. Did they send you the cheapest of the cheap, some weird brand you've never heard of, or were they fairly decent.
Well, they sent so we use a thing that's kind of rare. It's called a home phone with internet, and it's basically a modem that you can plug a telephone in, like a landline telephone in, and use. And it also has data along with it, but we don't use the phone because there's nobody up there to answer it. But so it was really nice because they sent me a brand new one, and I had to purchase the last two. So we got one. It lasted about a year and a half. Started acting funny and was make everything hiccup, and I just went and bought another one, and they were like $250. So it was nice to get one for free, and I was able to activate it and just take it out there. And it was funny because I knew we were having a problem because there were some hiccups on the other internet we were using, and I went to switch to them and it didn't work. And when I went up there, all the lights on the little box were red. I was like, oh yeah.
So my in-laws have the same thing. They have their home phone now through AT&T, and so they got the new equipment. And when I went and hooked it all up, I'm like, it shows a Wi-Fi symbol. And so I started looking, and it's like, yeah, there's data, Wi-Fi through this thing. And so I got into their account, and I'm looking around to make sure it's, they're not being charged per gigabyte or whatever. And they have unlimited data on their home cell phone. Huh. And I'm like, sweet, because I've been sharing my internet with her for a long time, and now it's her problem, not mine, when something quits working.
And the whole time she was paying for something and wasn't using it because she didn't know she had it?
She didn't know she had the data on it. They knew their phone system was through that, but not that they had data with that.
Oh, wow.
So that was pretty
cool surprise. She's had internet for years and didn't know it.
Well, I don't think she did because it was the old 3G units, and so I really don't think she had data available on that one. But
oh no, because that's what I used before was a 3G home phone with
this
data.
Time.
Yeah, so
all this time.
We'll find out if it works any better. So now we have we're back running on two up there, and when one fails, it switches to the other one. So hopefully, every now and then we get some annoying hiccups, and I hate that. I have to when I'm trying to fix it, I have to turn the radio off because it's like playing a video game where the music gets faster and faster and faster and faster, and you feel more stressed out during the fight scene or whatever it is. Or as your time's ticking away, how they do that on video games, they stress you out. It does the same thing if I can hear the hiccup going on behind me while I'm trying to work. It just like every time it happens, it makes me a little more stressed. So I have to turn off the radio so I can't hear the things that are going wrong while I fix it.
Yeah, it is. It's like when you're watching that show and the bomb time is ticking down, and it's not going to explode because these are people that are main characters on the show. But still, your heart's racing until they stop the timer at 2 seconds left.
I worked with a guy who was like, Mr. The sky is falling, and we were off the air, and he's panicking, and he won't stop panicking and talking. And, I'm trying to fix it as fast as I can, but he won't stop panicking and talking, which is doing the same thing to me. It's making me more nervous. And finally I said, you got to come with me and help me. And he goes, what? And he follows me out of the studio, and I let him go first. And then I say thanks, and I shut the door. Got the hint? This is just the help I needed, you in a different room.
Exactly. We had to go over yesterday and install like a bar in the bathtub of Brad's parents. And so,
you mean like an actual bar with cocktails and stuff?
Yeah, I wish.
Oh man!
One of those safety bar things.
Oh, safety bar, old people.
Yeah,
yes. I need one.
And so you're trying to get this installed, and meanwhile, in the background, you have 80-year-old
instructing you.
Well, not so much instructing, but asking a million zillion questions.
Oh, now be careful because they have internet and they could be watching.
No, she'd never be watching. But It's just funny because you're like, this would go so much faster if you weren't home right now.
She's not watching, but what if somebody tells her? Val was complaining about the shower bar job. And these get reposted, right? So she could go back and watch for herself. Okay.
Again, she wouldn't do it.
All right.
She doesn't know how, like, if something comes up on her news feed, she doesn't know how then once you scroll by it sometimes and you can't get back to it.
Yeah.
So she doesn't know how, like, if she saw something from her grandson. She doesn't know how to then go to his specific page and see that post if it's not showing up on her news feed
It's
anymore.
just gone forever.
She thinks it's just gone forever.
Oh, I don't know why they take things down all the time.
Yes. So you're trying to show her, no, you can, search for his name and then you can go to his page. No, that just doesn't compute. So,
well, what you should have did is tell her to go yesterday.
Yeah.
And then when she called you back and said, it says every time I try to go to Facebook, it says server error. And I'd say, oh, it must be you. Keep trying.
No, I'd have to go over there and try to fix her internet when it wasn't broken in the first place.
Yeah, speaking of that, online it said that they were only down yesterday for 6 hours, but I noticed for me it was all day long, and that's a thing what they call DNS, which is basically how your URL, how people find you on the internet. It's the path. And once that's...
It's your address.
It's your address. And once that's messed up, it's different than an IP address, though. And once that's messed up, nothing talks. And once you reset that, it's like posting a website kind of for the first time. It takes a while to propagate across the planet. They say sometimes up to 48 hours, although I've never seen it take that long. But as we get bigger...
Sometime it's going to take like 48 hours for us to refresh.
I think I have a little alfalfa on the top of my hat thing going on in my head.
Oh, do you?
I said hat, but I meant hair or head. But I said hat. And what's really funny is one time somebody was, I was going to meet somebody, a friend. I really got an alfalfa going on. Was going to meet somebody, and when I met the person, they said, oh, he gave me a description of you. And I said, he did. And he said, yeah, you'd have hair like a hat. I was like, what? Hair like a hat.
What?
What? Me? Oh.
I thought they used to call that the Shatner 2000.
That's right. The Shatner Turbo 2000.
2000. Oh, yes.
I do got some Shatner hair going on.
Because way back in the day when William Shatner actually had a nice full head of hair, that's what yours look like.
And what's nice now is if I can move the camera, I finally have the same physique as William Shatner.
Did you hear, though, that he gets to go into space?
His ashes? Or
no,
him?
he gets to go.
No way.
Yes,
which one of the crazy millionaires is taking him?
I don't remember which one it was. I just heard a little bit last night. So he's 90 now, so he'll be the oldest person to ever be in space. Yeah, but they're going to let him go.
That, is cool. The only thing that'd be slightly cooler is if they let him snap a selfie in the driver's seat. That'd be so great. William Shatner sitting in the driver's seat making a peace sign or some other kind of sign.
Well, if he wants to be beamed back down, though, he's going to not be able to do that.
I have a feeling he will just take control of the ship and go find some Romulans.
That could happen.
And they went, oh my gosh, we didn't know he'd lost it. I mean, for real this time.
Huh. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool.
All right. Klingons on attack course. Sorry.
Chuckle.
And then he looks at Elon Musk and says, Spock, you got so ugly.
Leonard Nimoy is dead now.
Oh, well, he probably still talks to him. Come on, he's 90. From conversations with him all the time. And if not now, soon.
Soon. He's going on Blue Origin's space flight that's slated to launch on...
And which million? That doesn't help me. I need to know the millionaire that runs it.
Who does Blue Origin?
I don't know.
I'll have to look that up, too.
All right.
Yeah, so he is, they say October 12th, but that's like a week away.
Well, you don't want to wait when you're 90.
I suppose. Oh, Jeff Bezos.
All right. All right. Maybe you'll find my package up there, Jeff. Why did you give it to the Postal Service?
Yeah. But I think they'll be out into space and back sooner than it would take to get a letter through the Postal Service right now.
Yeah. Hey, Bill Shatner, when you're up there, ask him what happened to 2 days shipping. Okay, I feel so much better now that I got to yell at Jeff Bezos.
Oh, so, there you go.
Thanks for you can type and talk at the same time.
Look at me.
Well, when you said that, it looked like your eyes went crossed.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah. Look at me. Well, however you did it, it was amazing. Thank you, Val.
You're welcome. And if you want to see my eyes cross again, just tune into the Facebook live stream.
It was. Her eyes really did cross. Oh, man. So
we've got friends in Snohomish that have been checking us out on Tuesday mornings. So
really,
I don't know if they're listening this morning, but
right.
Hey, Jeff and Carrie, shout out from the eastern side of the state.
All right. You could rebroadcast this over there if you wanted to.
Yes, you
giant
could.
Tower
I'll
in
let
your
them
yard,
know.
get it licensed. All that
there
stuff.
you go.
Yeah. All right. Should we move on or just keep floating?
Oh,
Should we pick a direction?
Yeah, we pick a direction.
All right, so I do have some news headlines we can talk about. First, Merrick's got a new COVID pill. All right, not only does it protect you from COVID, it keeps you from getting pregnant too. just starting those conspiracy theories early.
That's right,
Oh, no.
sterility and all of that.
I can't take your government pill. Oh. Who paid for this one? Oh, that's Biden's pill.
Uh-oh.
Does it sound as ridiculous as it sounds when I hear it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. All right. American Friday announced it has a new pill to treat COVID-19 and reduce the risk of hospitalization and early death by about 50%. Merrick plans to seek emergency authorization for the antiviral pills to be used in the United States. Here's what you need to know. Who will get the pill? Well, it's meant for people who are sick with COVID-19 but not in the hospital. Merrick's phase 3 clinical trial enrolled only unvaccinated people who are considered high risk, such as older people or those with medical conditions like diabetes and heart disease. Initially, the drug might only be available for those people, but experts expect it to eventually become more widely available, like me.
So I'm wondering, though, with the antiviral you can get when you get influenza, it has to be taken within 24 hours, I believe.
And so, yeah, that's I think I might be sick. By the time you decide, yep, I'm sick, it's too late to take the pill.
Exactly.
And answer me this. What doctor am I going to find that will see me within 24 hours?
No kidding.
I don't get this antiviral pill. Somebody told me they got it once. I was like, how did you master that? You should post it on the internet because that's impossible. I guess you could go to the emergency room and waste services and time like that.
I suppose, or if you have a long-standing relationship with your physician, maybe if you just called into the office, maybe they'd call in a prescription for you.
I think I have the flu. Will you subscribe me this expensive new drug?
Well, the one for the flu I don't think is that bad.
That's true. Okay.
And so, the new COVID one might be. But, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like you said, by the time you develop a fever and really know you've got some sort of viral infection, would it be too late at that point?
Well, it's the same thing. And my buddy, him, Ron, he claims that he really believes what saved him, he was unvaccinated, caught COVID, is he got in there right away as soon as he was feeling bad. And they were same kind of thing, give him antibodies at that early stage. And he credits that he thinks that's what's got him through it. Because he's got a lot of health problems, heart problems. And it was scary. He said by far.
Yeah, it's very scary.
He said, let me cough into the microphone. Okay. He said it was by far the worst cold he's ever had.
Yeah, and I've heard people saying it was no worse than a cold, and I've had people tell me it was the most awful thing they ever experienced. And so, it just runs a gamut. I'm hoping somewhere down the line they have some idea why it hits some people so hard and other people not at all. So
well, and then for him, you would have thought with some of his health problems, it would have attacked his lungs, like you would think with me with his asthma. And he said it was the headaches. It was like the worst headaches he ever had. He said that was probably one of the most unbearable things. And then he went for days of being stuffed up too, which typically isn't a side effect of COVID. Like he had some kind of massive head cold too. So it seems like it gets everybody a little different.
Yep. And these friends I was talking about in Snohomish, she had it. And yeah, she said it was just like having a head cold. Wasn't that big a deal. So, you know, yeah, it's really wild. I mean, I thought when our sister got it, she wasn't going to survive. And she did. So, yeah, but then we know someone who's really good friend's 16-year-old son is in the hospital with COVID, and they don't think he's going to make it.
No.
So, yeah. So
did he have any kind of prior illnesses?
He is Down syndrome.
Oh, man.
And so they said the worst part right now is he's in the hospital by himself, and he doesn't know what's going on.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
so that would be heartbreaking.
Wow.
So,
oh, so sad. All right.
yes.
Everybody there, put your prayer hats on.
That's right.
All right. Move along. Couple news headlines. So we got that COVID pill coming your way, but you got to get it fast. All right. Other news headlines today. UPS testing a paycheck cashing system. That's right. UPS just needs to make more money. USPS, sorry. United States Postal Service. The names are too close together. United States Postal Service testing paycheck cashing because nothing else is working. That's what we want at the post office, is our lines to be yet a little bit longer. So if you have any kind of weird check you need cashed, run down there, see if they'll do it. All right. Hasn't hit Chihuahua yet. This is just going on the East Coast, but they're saying it could transform how millions access money and pay their bills, and it is coming our way, I guess.
And from now on, it literally will be your checks in the mail.
And we've got it. And as soon as you get it, cash it here. All right. So, I know they've had a tough time, and it's such a huge, it's not really a government organization. Overseen by the government in a way. I don't know how that actually works. So,
from what I understand, is they were never the U.S. Postal Service. You hear so often that they're running out of money, and how is that going to be funded? And we need to raise stamps and cost of stamps and all that. But when the Postal Service was first founded, it was never intended to make a profit.
It was a service for the people.
It was a service for the people. And so I think it's kind of been, lost over the years. So, yeah. And not that you want it to be a big drain on our government, but at the same time, it was supposed to be one of the services.
Well, I'm unhappy with it. It was probably now getting close to 10 years ago. They crushed my online business because most of it was overseas, and overnight my shipping tripled. It was like the time when the stamp went up 2 cents. But what people didn't realize is everything went up, and it went up drastically. And I think it was the first time they ever did 2 cents at once on a stamp. I could be wrong about that. But over my overseas shipping tripled to the point where it wasn't worth anybody to buy the product when it cost just as much.
I'm going to interrupt. If you can hear me, I can no longer hear you.
Oh, well, we'll have to go to break, I guess. Your microphone is not working. All right, I think we will go to break. Something has happened with our little internet connection, unless I can fix it here real quick. She's just shaking her head no and making fists at me, but I can hear her. Keep talking.
I can't hear you.
Oh, my gosh. This is a first.
I don't know what happened.
This is a first.
Oh.
All right. I don't think I can fix it. So, Val, we are going to go to break.
If I'm muted. Yeah, it says my volume's working.
Once again, it's all me. All right, stand by. We're going to fix some technical glitches, and we will be back. It's KCHW 102.7.
KCHW.
I live in Colville, Washington. I just wanted you guys to know you got the best radio station. Man, I love it. I absolutely love it. Thanks a lot. Keep up the good work.
KCHW. Chihuahua.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast for October the 5th, 2021. I'm Mike Clifford. A growing number of tents that are popping up in neighborhoods across Denver have made it harder to ignore a chronic and expanding housing crisis in Colorado and across the U.S.
An initiative approved for Denver's November 2nd ballot calls for the city to crack down on campsites and to build sanctioned sites with running water, toilets, and lighting on public property. Kathy Alderman with the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless says the proposal amounts to an empty promise because it fails to allocate land and other resources necessary to create safe outdoor spaces.
We know camping ban enforcement and extreme measures like the one proposed do nothing to resolve homelessness. They do not provide resources to get people into safe spaces and into housing.
Initiative 303, proposed by Garrett Flicker, chairman of the Denver Republican Party, would require written permission from owners to camp on private property, and the city would have 72 hours to respond to complaints. Denver currently is not enforcing a camping ban already on the books. A county court ruled that the law was cruel and unusual punishment in a case that could be taken up by the Colorado Supreme Court. I'm Eric Galatis.
Advocates contend if Denver implements 303, it actually will take resources away from motel vouchers and other tools that are effective in helping people find their way into permanent housing. As we file this newscast, Facebook is back up for some people, but WhatsApp and Instagram continue to be down in widespread outages that have lasted much of Monday, disrupting communications for the company's roughly 3 billion users. CNET reports that Facebook's outage Monday was unusual in that it struck a suite of the company's products, including its central site. That includes WhatsApp, the encrypted message service used widely around the world. The website and its services are used for everything from casual chatting to business transactions. And as the U.S. Supreme Court session gears up, a new report finds more than 36 million women in 26 states could lose access to abortions if the court overturns Roe versus Wade.
Missouri has only one clinic where abortions are performed, the result of laws that, for instance, require providers to have admitting privileges at nearby hospitals, although research shows there's no medical need for this permission. Yamelcy Rodriguez helps run the last clinic, Reproductive Health Services of Planned Parenthood of the St. Louis region.
We often feel we're providing abortion services on borrowed time. A web of medically unnecessary laws make abortion inaccessible, especially for people of color, people with low incomes, and people who live in rural communities.
Last month, the U.S. Supreme Court turned down a case regarding a Texas ban on abortions after 6 weeks. I'm Lily Bolke reporting.
This is PNS. Disability advocates and other groups are suing the federal government over the Social Security Administration's practices during the pandemic. That includes shuttering local offices.
The challenge was filed on behalf of 5 New Yorkers who utilize Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, which helps low-income older adults and people with disabilities. In March 2020, Social Security, which administers SSI, closed all of its offices, making it difficult for recipients to report any financial changes. 6 months later, the agency started to send notices to thousands of people telling them their benefits were going to be reduced due to overpayment without giving them a meaningful chance to contest it. Kate Lang of Justice in Aging, which represents the plaintiffs, says the office closure left many vulnerable people in the dark.
People have difficulty communicating with Social Security and saying, this is a mistake. I'm still eligible for these benefits. I shouldn't be cut off. We think that Social Security needs to recognize that the pandemic continues.
The federal government has 60 days from filing to respond to the lawsuit. Other organizations involved in the case include New York Legal Assistance Group and Arnold & Porter. I'm Emily Scott.
Social Security offices around the nation remain closed to the public except for emergency situations. And deaths linked to domestic violence continue to rise in the state of Ohio, according to the Ohio Domestic Violence Network's 6th annual report.
Between June 1st of 2020 and June 30th of this year, records show a 20% increase in domestic violence fatalities. That's a 62% increase from 2 years ago. Michaela Deming with the Ohio Domestic Violence Network says the 131 deaths included the highest yearly number of children since they began counting.
So we had 15 young people killed in the last year, all related to domestic violence. And some of those stories are even more heartrending than you might think. That was really startling.
In 16 cases, she adds, children were at the scene of a death. Mary Sherman reporting.
The report found 30 cases involved multiple fatalities, and in at least 86% of incidents, a gun was involved. Finally, this health alert, our Eric Teodoff tells us that the flu season is around the corner, and that also means many people can protect themselves with a flu shot.
Health professionals are advising anyone who can safely be vaccinated to get the flu shot. Dr. Tessa Commerce is a pediatrician in Tacoma with Kaiser Permanente. She stresses the extra importance of a flu shot this year.
Not only do we have the need for the additional services that are needed to provide care for those with flu, but then the risk of catching flu and COVID at the same time is potentially even more serious and harmful to the body.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service. We are member and listener supported. Heard on radio stations big and small. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock tires, provide collision repairs, including glass, and they have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW Chewelah, looking at 7:57, going back live. This time, though, I have my beautiful sister on the phone, I think.
Let's try that, maybe, huh?
Yeah. It looks, my question is, do you think Zoom could be owned by Facebook?
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, look how many companies they do own.
Yeah, because and this is the first time it's happened now in a year and a half, but their server isn't working. I can't even connect to them. So, all right,
that's pretty wild.
Kicked out of the Zoom.
We broke the internet.
Yay! Everybody, cheer, please. All right, I don't even remember. That was so shocking. I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh, it was the COVID pill.
Is that the last thing, really?
I think it was USPS. That's what we were talking about. Is the mail? Mm-hmm. And I noticed you had talked about something that too. Is you said Amazon seems to have shifted too.
For us, anyway, I used to get, I would say, 75-80% of my packages from Amazon through UPS, and now it's the opposite. I'm getting 80% of them through the Postal Service, which I don't like. I want UPS back.
Well, because you like that door-to-door delivery, right? Right to your door. It's awesome.
Well, yeah, and they have to. It used to be you get the little note in your mailbox saying you have a package at the post office and you need to go get it. Well, they actually do deliver packages now, so they will come down the driveway to do that. But I don't know. I just find the tracking isn't as good, and we don't get our mail till 6 o'clock at night. So there's just a lot of reasons why I don't like it. Please go back to UPS.
Well, it's got to be a lot tougher.
Well, I miss my UPS. Yeah, I miss my UPS man too. So.
Yeah, you had a kind of relationship with the man in brown, don't you?
Yes.
I get what you're saying. I'd wish Amazon would have stepped up and explained to us why we can no longer have 2-day shipping, but they're still charging us to be a member.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I realize a lot of it's the supply chain has been severely affected by COVID. But at the same time,
it hasn't been a year and a half.
And when you don't get it to me in 2 days, why don't you give me, I don't know, how about an Amazon $2 gift certificate? I'd be fine with that.
Give me something, right?
Exactly.
All right. The other thing I noticed too is and I'm not picking up. I don't want anybody at our local post office or your post office in Deer Park or any of the employees, because we've got awesome employees. So that isn't really the issue. It's the corporate management of it all, and I'm sure as an employee they can get frustrated with it too. But I just don't understand why my mailbox has quadrupled. And
the cost of having a box.
Yes, and on from over the past 10 years. Okay, so say Scott, you're old, the price goes up, but it just jumped to $119 a year, which I think was like double from last year. So I don't understand. And here in the city of Chihuahua, if you are downtown, you don't have a choice. You have to have a mailbox. Well, everybody else gets their mail delivered for free. Why do I have to pay $119?
For sure.
So, I might stir something up over that just because we are a nonprofit. I just thought that was a little excessive. If I'm going to pay $119 a year for my mailbox, I want to be able to sleep in it. I'm renting it. What other kind of thing? Could I keep some chicken in there?
You could probably fit.
I could probably what?
You could probably fit in that postal box, as short as you are.
It is. I was thinking a nice new little Hobbit box for Scott. What I think I figured out as we're going along here, because I tried to switch to something else. It's actually our internet connection today that I think went down. So.
Oh, really?
So people that would have lost our broadcast and stuff and said, "Oh, what happened?" I think it's internet connection here in the building has went down. We were going to have a short show anyway today.
It might be really short.
It might be really, really short. But I just won't refresh any of the pages I have open. Make sense?
There you go.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Although it still says I could end my live video on Facebook, so I'm not quite sure if I'm there or not. But nothing seems to be working here in the studio. All right.
Yeah, and I checked my internet on my end, making sure it wasn't me, but it wasn't, so it's all you.
That's funny is because as we were going to break, that's exactly what I said. I think it's me. It's all me. I caused the problems again. All right, moving along. How about some celebrity birthdays for today, Val? You following along with me? And we'll just kind of go down our bits and breaks for today.
Okay, so celebrity birthdays today include Steve Miller, who is 78 years old. Karen Allen from the Indiana Jones films is 70. Director Klaus Balker is 69 today. Neil deGrasse Tyson is 63. Daniel Baldwin from Homicide: Life on the Streets is 61. Guy Pearce, Memento, and Iron Man 3 is 54. Josie Bissett from Melrose Place is 51. Parminder Negra from ER and Bend It Like Beckman is 46. Scott Wiener from Full House and Aladdin is 46 as well, as is Kate Winslet. And finally, coming in at age 38 today is Jesse Eisenberg from The Social Network, Batman vs. Superman, and Dawn of Justice.
Boy, he sure gets a lot of movies for a quirky, wiry guy, doesn't he? He is a great actor, though. I will say that. All right, I've got a few local birthdays to go along with those. J. Lee Lane having a birthday today, as well as Mike Bender, Felicia Chalmers. Anniversary for John and Donna Cordes. And yesterday's birthday, Andrea Arnold. Just one on the list from yesterday. There you go. Tell them we were talking about them on the radio. It's so much fun because they freak out. All right.
What they say?
Well, what did they say about me? And then they're calling me. What did you say about me on the radio? All right. Looking for history, Val. Can you deliver It Happened Today?
It happened today. I would be glad to. I just need to find it here. Let's see. It happened today. Oh, you mean just like events, special events?
No. Today in history.
Sorry.
It was right after Jesse Eisenberg, so I don't know where you went.
Okay. It happened today.
All right. It happened today. We call it.
All right. I'm there.
History.
All right. In 1921, the World Series was broadcast on the radio for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah. In 1947,
the first televised White House address was given by U.S. President Harry S. Truman, 1947.
Okay.
In 1970, PBS became a television network. Oh, I would have thought they were around for longer than that.
I'm surprised, too.
1989, evangelist Jim Baker was convicted of using his TV show to defraud followers of about $150 million.
And he's at it again. He's back on TV. I saw somebody. I was at somebody's house and they were watching him, and I was like, "Oh, no, you're not." They wouldn't listen.
And we can send him money now.
Yeah, you can send him money again. He's got a whole new, the last time I saw it, now that was a few years ago, he was on one of the church channels, and he was preaching and selling long-time storage food.
Okie dokie then.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, let's move on to 2011 when Apple founder Steve Jobs died at the terribly young age of 56 years old. 2017, the New York Times published an they did an investigation into the aberrant behavior of Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein. How about that?
He's in prison now. Yay!
Yeah. 2018, the Banksy work Girl with Balloon automatically shredded moments after being sold for £1 million in London. It was then renamed Love is in the Bin. Oh.
Okay.
I don't understand that.
I don't know. Must be a painting.
Okay.
All right.
All right, that's pretty wild. Would you like me to go ahead and do special events, or do you want to take that one?
I think I want to take it just so I can pick on you.
Okay.
These are all for you today. Well, at least the first two. First, Val, it's Get Funky Day. Do it.
Okay. I'm going to get funky. Too bad we don't have the cameras up and running.
I know.
Yep.
So sad. Whoop, whoop. Fruit at Work Day. All right.
Does that mean you take fruit to work, or you are the fruit at work?
Well, you're kind of working from home. I'm going to say you are the fruit at work. It is World Teachers Day.
Thank you, teachers.
Do something nice day. This is going to be tough.
Especially today.
Do something nice. And then Rocky Mountain Oyster Day. And if you don't know what those are, you better look it up. Especially before you eat one.
Have you ever had Rocky Mountain oysters?
Yes, our father did, and one of his friends one time did belittle me into eating one. Just one, though. And then the second most disgusting thing I've ever eaten, pickled egg.
I've never tried a pickled egg, but I have had Rocky Mountain oysters. I think I got duped into trying it probably about the same time as you did. But then I chose to try them a few years back. They were deep fried, and I had them with French fries and a beer, and they were very good.
Ew. Yeah, that particular day, Dad had some friend stop by. He had the Rocky Mountain oysters, pickled pig's feet, and pickled eggs, and they were chowing down. That was disgusting. Disgusting day. All right.
Yeah.
Number of the day is 434 million. And that is the number of times they think you will blink in your lifetime unless you've got a nervous twitch.
That's a lot of times to blink. You'd think our eyelids are wear out.
That is a long time. Let's do it all at once. No. If you can flap them fast enough, you might be able to fly. All right. News and nuggets in the world of entertainment today. Grandma killer whale is missing. This is a 47-year-old grandma killer whale has gone missing from a Pacific Northwest pod, endangering the young orcas who rely on older females for food. The matriarch of a megapod of killer whales in the Pacific Northwest has gone missing, and scientists fear the worst. L47, a 47-year-old orca who is a mother and grandmother many times over, was last seen in February. She's part of a large clan of whales known as the Southern Resident Group, who all swim off the coasts of Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia. The group is composed of three closely related pods dubbed J, K, and L. Boy, that's original. Our researchers have been tracking the extended family for years, and L47 is the most fertile members, giving birth to 7 calves that live long enough to get alphanumeric names like her. According to experts, she was last observed on February 27th of 2021. She failed to turn up early summer surveys. This month, all of L47's offspring and grandchildren were counted, but she was not among them. What they don't answer in this story is how old should an orca live?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious, too.
That's like need-to-know information, I think, to develop a hypothesis.
Okay, well, look. That's Anne.
All right.
That?
Since you're the only one with internet.
All right. Yes, I am. A female can live anywhere from 10 to 45 years in captivity. So it doesn't say, I would guess it's less in out in the wild. I don't know.
All right.
So she would be at the end of her, life expectancy, I suppose.
All right.
So, sad.
Very sad.
All right. Yeah.
All right. It is KCHW 102.7. We're going to go to a little break and be right back once again. All right, Val?
That sounds good to me.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW, Chewelah, Loon Lake, Clayton.
KCHW 102.7. Scott and Val back with you. Just had to check on a couple of things with our technical issues this morning. You still with me, Val?
I'm still here.
All right, moving along with a few of our news stories. You probably already figured out Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp are all back after being dark for much of Monday. Instagram flashed up a couldn't load post message when trying to access people's pages, while Facebook's newsfeed simply refused to load. WhatsApp experienced outages in the U.S. and abroad. Facebook spokesperson used Twitter to confirm that the company knew of the outages and was working to get all the services back online as quickly as possible. How embarrassing for such a huge group. And I'm curious if Facebook will put up any numbers of how much money they've lost.
Just in that, and their stock prices plummeted, I guess, because of it as well. So,
not that we need to
not
feel.
Good on,
I was going to say.
So
not.
Isn't sorry, we're kind of going to talk over each other, I'm sure, on the phone, but. Isn't Twitter owned by Facebook as well, or no?
Yeah, they are. But when they purchased it, they must have kept all their servers separate from everything else they were doing. Maybe they hadn't brought them into the fold yet, which kind of saved them from crashing as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty wild.
It is. Here's one of the things, though. I'm really been bummed out with what Congress is doing. Of course, they've been picking on Facebook, bringing them in, asking Zuckerberg all sorts of questions and stuff. But and the FTC's looked at them. But here's the question that nobody's asking. Those little ads on Facebook, now when you're in Marketplace, you can buy anything. It's like some kind of crazy eBay that doesn't really make sense, with the shopping. All right. So from what I've heard from friends is all those little ads, like there's been one on there, I saw it too, get a generator for $99. They're all scam ads. And I actually talked to somebody who tried to buy one of those $99 generators and was ripped off. You're not if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. You are not getting it. But he's told me of all sorts of things that he tried to buy off of Facebook that never arrived. So why is that? It's turned. Most of the ads on there, and you can tell just by looking at them for products, look fraudulent, just like that, a $99 generator. Why is nobody looking at that? Why isn't the Federal Trade Commission looking at that? Why isn't Zuckerberg looking at that? Is it because he's making money on all those ads and he doesn't care what happens to the people that click on them? I mean, that's what it appears like.
Yeah, and a day or two ago, they had the whistleblower that came out and said that they've placed profit above truthfulness too, and they were saying, as soon as the election was over, they really eased up all of their monitoring of stuff. So she said, the conspiracy theories and all of that are still going wild on there because they quit watching as much for things like that. So,
all right.
So, just putting profit above truth.
All right. What state has the most ghost sightings, Val?
Oh, this is intrigued me. It says, if you're intrigued or freaked out by the idea of the paranormal, you'll want to either visit or avoid Texas, which has more ghost sightings than any other U.S. state.
Wow.
That's wild.
Texas, huh? All right.
Yeah, what's so crazy about Texas?
Huh. Well, we were talking about Amazon. You want to pick on Target a little bit?
I'd love to.
Okay, excellent.
A Target employee's TikTok video has gone viral after she posted a video showing the price of Cetaphil cleanser being increased by over $4. The video has gotten to over 1 million views since being posted Saturday. In the video, Caitlin on TikTok holds the new $10.99 price tag for the cleanser and compares it to the old tag, which prices the cleanser at just $6.19. The TikToker also posted about prices going up in the beauty section in August. On the 27th, she posted a video showing that Sally Hansen's Insta-Dry nail polish was going from $4.49 to $9.99. The increases aren't only happening at Target or on beauty products, however. Customers and retail employees commented that they noticed increases in grocery product prices at several stores as well. There is some good news, according to a speech by Jerome Powell, chair of the Federal Reserve. He said that the current inflation is believed to be transitory rather than long-term. The price of the Sally Hansen nail polish already went down, according to a follow-up by TikTok that Caitlin posted.
Well, I'm seeing
so,
this.
You know what's interesting, though? I think, often prices will go up instantly and then will either go down very slowly or not at all.
Well,
I guess they feel if people are willing to pay that money for them, they'll just keep making them pay that money for them.
Yeah, there's some things that seem to, once the price goes up, it never comes back down. It's like it set the new trend. But maybe because of what's going on across the world, people will be a little bit tighter with their pocketbooks, and those companies that are gouging prices for one reason or another, whatever it may be, will turn around and back off on that. I noticed, ever since COVID started, groceries always are going up, but they've really went up, and they continue to grow up. But it's been kind of a gradual sneak. And like I know they posted online, it's like I think some of the scummiest corporations in America are our cereal producers, and what they do to deceive the general public of taking their box of cereal and making it look like it's the same size that it's always been, but making it thinner and thinner and thinner until, you've got 2 bowls of cereal in a box. It's gotten really ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And I think it should be an embarrassment for America that some of our major companies like Kellogg's, that's as American as apple pie and baseball, isn't it? I mean, just the name, and look how they take advantage of the shopper. It's deceptive at best. But I think
and how they market to kids to eat something that's completely loaded with sugar.
It's something that it's like gasoline. We shouldn't be using it anymore. Really it is. It's some of the worst food you can put in your body, especially the kids' type of cereals. I realize, once you get into some of the other cereals, and there are a lot of like organic ones and natural ones right now, and things that are made better. But it's all carbs.
Right.
And I found if I get up and eat, I can get up and eat nothing and just drink coffee, and I will make it longer than I will if I get up, have my coffee, and then go, I'm going to have a bowl of cereal. It sets off a pattern where I'm hungry the rest of the day.
I've noticed that too. Give yourself some, eggs and sausage. You're gonna eat way less than you are if you're gonna have a bowl of cereal or a donut or anything super sugary in the morning.
Tell us about the benefits of tea, Val.
Okay. Regular cups of tea can help speed recovery from stress. Researchers at the University College in London said men who drank black tea 4 times a day, wow, for 6 weeks, were found to have lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol. The tea drinkers also reported a greater feeling of relaxation after performing tasks designed to